ॐ वार्ताय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणं मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणी. Though this fifth chapter was introduced by me as a link between the previous second, third, and fourth chapters and the coming sixth chapter, and in that sense, it might seem that the fifth chapter may not have much of teachings of its own. Actually, as we are presently finding, this link is not an ordinary link. This bridge is extraordinary. This bridge between what was taught and what is going to be taught has certain such precious teachings that a Vedanta student is lifted to dizzy heights. In the 8th and 9th verses, it was already shown how, as there is on one hand greater purity of mind, on the other glimpses of one's own true nature, there is actually a different self-experience altogether. Naiva kinchit karomi. I am not a doer at all. It's a very quiet insight, but that can make a very big difference to how you and I may go through life. We are not the doers. Things are happening. We are the witness. We are in everything and yet out of everything, and so on. In that same strain, Sri Krishna went further, connecting again and again, sometimes the pure Paramartha Jnana to this state of freedom, and connecting at other times Karma Yoga to this state of freedom. No wonder this chapter began saying, don't make a big difference between karma and jnana. If you are a true karma yogi, you are almost there at the highest jnana. And if you are, by saying jnana only into books, you are worse than many other karma yogis. Therefore, don't get carried away by superficialities. If there is intense service, spirit of service, then the ego already is put to the back seat. He talked therefore in the 12th verse how a karma yogi gains what is called naishtiki shanti. He is rooted in a certain deep abidance in the truth. Naishtiki, nishtajanya. Whereas, however scholarly somebody may be, if his or her eyes are upon some fruits, some rewards, some recognition, some praise coming his way, or somebody's offer of some kind coming her way, if one's eyes are upon, what will I get? I hope I'll get something wonderful today, and so on, then badhyate. All knowledge of the Sanskrit scriptures will be to no avail if this philosophy is not dropped. We came up to the 13th shloka, where there was a powerful illustration. The one with that illumination is in the body and yet knows one is neither doing nor getting anything done. Naiva kurvan na kharayan. All this points to a certain unusual and out of the box insight. Though a lot of things are happening, you're not doing anything. That is the kind of rest, that is the kind of repose, that is the kind of inner well-being that you will experience if you really digest the teachings of the Gita. Do not just stay superficially just uttering some big philosophical words. Internalize it. Find out what it is to eliminate the sense of I got, I lost, I won, I got insulted, I am praised. It is thoughts. It is just thoughts. It is just conclusions on the basis of spiritual ignorance. Thus, my mind goes to the title, though I have not read that play, the title of one of Shakespeare's plays, Much Ado About Nothing. I don't even know what the plot in that play is, but the title is very, relevant to the Vedanta's teachings. Much ado about nothing. If you and I are stressed, we feel lonely, we feel lost, we feel sometimes excited. All of them are much ado about nothing. What does it mean? Is it a sad statement that there is nothing in life? Life is so boring, life is so bland, neither sweet nor sour, none of those desirable tastes. Life is a tasteless matter. It's a tasteless thing. Is that the meaning? No, that's again a misunderstanding. Perhaps that is why it is always said, study the Vedanta from competent teachers. If you don't study from competent teachers, at the end of the day, you may feel, well, after all this spirituality, life looks like more meaningless than ever. Krishna, Krishna, that would be a terrible, wrong conclusion. On the contrary, when we say much ado about nothing, or nothing is happening actually, you are not the doer, you don't reach anywhere, you don't go anywhere, etc. What it implies is you don't need to go anywhere. You don't need somebody's praise, and somebody's criticism can do nothing to you. So this praise, this criticism, this approval, that rejection, etc., can all be taken in your fist and just dropped on the ground. You can stay free of all psychological disturbances. So that kind of stillness, not the inert stillness, lively stillness. You are alive, aware, alert. You are outwardly taking and giving. Outwardly, you are participating in the game of life, going by your swadharma. You don't have to imitate some X or Y. You don't have to imitate Vivekananda or some other saint, sage. You don't have to imitate King Janaka. Be yourself. Be your own model. Your life has its own background. It will have its own foreground. It will have its own future. Your life is your life. But even as you go through what is ordained for this personality called you, it is possible for you to know I am ever free. So this actionlessness or absence of high and low, rise and fall, etc., is brought out by Sri Krishna time and again at many places, and that is how the Advaita Vedanta finds a number of statements by Lord Krishna as supporting the understanding that the Avyaya Brahma, the changeless spirit of Brahma alone is. Rest of it all is in the mind. It's all in the mind. So 14th we read last time. Lord Krishna continues, Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srujati prabhu na karma phala sanyogam swabhavastu pravartate. Yes, that is the truth. There is no kartatva, no doer. There are no objects. Rata, ghata, prasadadi. The desirable objects are called here karmani. All of them have validity, couple of notches below the reality. In reality, you don't desire anything, you don't need anything. So what a liberation. Imagine you go to a wonderful super mall and everybody is excited about what is available there. You want to buy this, buy that. You have only one thought in you. Ha, I'm so happy. I don't need any of this. I don't need anything that the super mall has to offer. And my happiness already is unadulterated, pure. In this way, if you can, with some friends, go around the mall, not pretending to be desireless, but actually desireless, and very alert, looking at people, looking at things, and so on. For the fun of it, you may buy also something, not that you should not buy, you should not accept. Those are all details about which there is no specific rule. A jnani may wear some suit worth lakhs of rupees. Another jnani may sit in a simple dress of two pieces, one above and one below. That's it. There's no rule about it. A jnani may have expensive houses, cars, and so on. And more often we don't find jnanis doing that. That's okay. The Siddhanta does not forbid a jnani from having something expensive. The jnani, well clad or in simple dress, knows one thing. I am not this personality at all. Shankaracharya explains, Na kartatvam swataha kuru iti, that doership. Na api karmani, rata, ghata, prasadadi, cars and ghata, various other objects. Ghata literally means a pot. Prasada, palaces. Ipsita tamani lokasya. In the world, people want all this. Look at how all these portals like Amazon, Flipkart, and a number of others, how they are doing big business. Or people are always looking for something. Let's acquire that, we'll be happier. But there are no such things in reality. It's all within the domain of thought. Visrajati utpadayati. Napi rathadi kritavataha tat phalena sanyogam na karma phala sanyogam. So association. I made that car. I created this machine. I wrote that poem, I built this house, this sense of I am the maker or any other. Phala sanyoga. Yadi kinchidapi swataha na karoti na karayati cha dehi, kastarhi kurvan karayanscha pravartate iti. So if it's really true that I'm not doing anything, nor am I getting something done, then who under the sun is doing? Who under the sun is getting things done? Uchyate, that is answered. Swabhavastu pravartate. The punchline of the shloka is, it is nature that is in operation. By nature, swabhavaha, swabhavaha, here in this context, what is meant is, avidya, maya is operating. In erroneous perception, many things may be perceived, and the perceiver also is part of that erroneous perception. This avidya is not only the object, but the subject, but beneath and behind this object and subject is the truth. The truth is not part of avidya. Truth is the basis. Truth is the substrate. Eighth chapter is going to say, before that, seventh is going to say, Daivi Hiesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Maya Pravartate. Thus, Swabhavastu Pravartate. Lord Krishna makes this itself clearer in chapter 15, rather in shloka 15, the next one. He further emphasizes, if you know the Purusha, the pure Atma in you, which you are, you will find there is no taking, no giving, no merit, no sin. All these are part of a kind of dream. So 15 goes, Nadatte kasyachit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhuhu ajnanenavritam jnanam tena muhyanti jantavaha. Tena muhyanti jantavaha. What a powerful statement. A jnani looks around and sees that people are into various kinds of moha. Oh. So, the jnani looks around, somebody is celebrating. Oh, I won, I am on top of the world now. Somebody else is crying. I am gone, I am dead now. No, nobody wants me. I am such a failure. Dani says, both this egoistic jubilation and the egoistic misery are moha. See how Vedanta is amazingly cutting across all the situations. It doesn't just say your sorrow is false. Your egoistic celebration is false. Vedanta doesn't say happiness is false. There is something called true happiness, natural happiness. That is true. But whenever your happiness one fine morning is, let us say, because you made more money than the neighbor, your book sold more copies than another author, the movie you made earned so much in the box office, beat so many records. I have become a big man now. At last, finally, people know who I am. That's called egoistic elation. You feel elated, not depressed. Feel good. You are on cloud nine, and so on. Vedanta says that is also moha. So moha hits us in both pleasure and pain. We need to remain nirmoha. So, tena muhyanti jantava. Sri Krishna, tell us once more, what are you saying? Yes, Krishna says once more and in a different way. The pure spirit that you are, that God is, that this entire universe actually is, or everything is an expression of that one pure spirit, called here Vibhu. That Vibhu really has nothing to do with the so-called merit and sin of anybody. This turns the most popular karma siddhanta upside down. Karma. Who has karma? Who is the karta? The question is raised. So please note, it is on a different plane altogether. On this highest plane of Brahmajnana, there are no papa and punya. And if somebody just memorizes such lines and then goes berserk, wants to do anything and then does anything he likes, he is in trouble. For there is no realization. For realization, quietly but steadily, you must sort out your confusions. You must clear your prejudices. Nadatte kasyachit papam. That supreme truth does not take. Adana means taking. Pradana means giving. Nachaiva sukritam vibhu. Papa and punya. Punya is called sukrita here. Then there seems to be karma and karma phala. Nobody seems to be free of it. The second line says, all of them are valid within the frame of reference of avidya, called ajnana here. Ajnana, ajnanena avrutam jnanam, tena muhyanti jantavaha. Shankaracharya explains, paramartatastu na adatte, na grihnati, bhaktasya api. People attached to the duality, they say, no, the God may keep aloof to some extent, but when you truly pray and offer something to Him, God takes it from you. As in God said in the 9th chapter, which is coming, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadaham bhakti upahritam ashnami prayatatmanaha swikaromi. I accept what God, what devotees offer lovingly. So why do we say na adatte, does not take anything good, does not take anything bad? The shloka in 9th chapter and thousands, tens of thousands or even more of shlokas in different scriptures are on a certain plane, valid, true. When you are dreaming, if a dog bites you when you are going for a walk, the dog chased you, bit you on the leg, within that dream, friends come and take you to a doctor, injections are given, and so on. The pain, the misery, everything is real. When you wake up from the dream, there was no dog bite, you did not go for a walk, you haven't walked for last 1 month, let us say. At least in the dream you went for a walk. So, which is true? That's what King Janaka asked when he had a dream where he was a beggar. It looked so real. Not just being beggar, a whole lot of related experiences. So he asked, say, Ashtavakra, am I a king who imagined he was a beggar? Or am I a beggar who is now imagining he is a king? And after a long discourse and discussion, I guess, Ashtavakra makes it clear to King Janaka, you are neither the beggar nor the king. You are Satchit Ananda. So, Bhaktasyapi, on the highest plane of the Satchit Ananda, Bhaktasyapi papam punyam va vibhuhu adatte. Bhaktaihi prayuktam sukritam na agatte. Kimartham tarhi bhaktaihi pujadi lakshanam yaga dana homadikam cha sukritam prayudyate iti. There are lots of students of Gita who have read this shloka, and some of them immediately after the class run and do their puja. Puja, yaga, dana, homa, and so on. Shankaracharya established the Shankara Mathas, Shankara centers. They are so engaged in so many kinds of karma, so many kinds of rituals, Rudrayaga, Atirudrayaga, and elaborate rituals are done. Why? Yaga, Dana, Homa, Adhikam. The answer is all of them, we don't say should not be done. All of them are valid in the Ajnana Bhumi. So don't find fault with some Sangeri or some other Matha who say Brahma has nothing coming in, nothing going out. And why all this? Better you check your own mindset. Maybe the Shankaracharya presiding over the yaga on some occasion is constantly aware. All this is appearance. The truth is nothing is happening. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Chandramaulishwaraya Namaha. Says the Shangeri Pontiff. Lord Chandramaulishwara alone is real. All this is an appearance. So rather than trying to find fault with somebody doing something, this has to be applied to yourself. Are you caught in egoism? In egoism, a million things look real. When you shed the ego, all of them take a back seat. Ajnanena, what is covered by ignorance? Jnanam, viveka vijnanam. So the ability to distinguish. Tena muhyanti, karomi, parayami, bhokshe, bhojayami. So leave alone those elaborate mega rituals. Even if somebody is just stopping for 1 minute at a wayside temple, offering a fruit or flower and then going further to his work, there can be moha if in that simple act the man thinks, now finally I have become very religious. In my neighborhood I am the most religious person. Egoism comes. I offered a flower. Though I am so busy on my way to work, I offered a flower to God. And so on. It is all karomi, karayami, mokshe, bhojayami. I do, I get things done, I eat, I get people to eat, I feed them. It is all moham gachanti. Avivekinaha, asansarinaha, sansarinaha. Avivekinaha, those who lack discrimination, those who are worldly, sansarina. And in contrast, Bhashyakara will explain now. This next shloka is in contrast. Let's say Krishna's words. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitam atmanah tesham adityavad jnanam prakashayati tatparam. There are jnanis, in whom, thanks to proper shravana, proper manana, contemplation, proper discussion, and proper associated practices, so that the mind becomes a better instrument. The truth is not the product of any practice. The truth is not the result of any practice. It's a tricky situation. The truth is, it is ever present. You don't produce it. But your mind, because of uh, undisciplined living, had gathered all vasanas, and dualistic structures are erected, are brought in place, brought to the scenario by the mind. It's like if you take some alcoholic drink or some other substance, you will come to a different state of perception. White may look black and black may look white. While there are only two people over there, you may see five of them. So all kinds of hallucinations can take place. Likewise, the mind which has impurities needs to be cleansed here. So then it is said, Ajnanam Nashitam. Ignorance is destroyed by right seeing. Right seeing facilitated by the Vedanta Shastra. Tesham Adityavajnanam Prakashayati Tatvaram. The word jnana comes twice here. By jnana, ignorance is removed, and then that jnana illumines the supreme truth. Tat param satyam prakashayati. Bhashyakara says, jnanena tu yena ajnanena avritaha mukyanti jantavaha tat ajnanam. That very ignorance due to which people were suffering. People were going on a roller coaster ride before. That ajnana, jnanena nashitam. How? Viveka vijnanena or viveka jnanena. So it is so simple. Aviveka puts us in the error domain. Viveka takes us out of it. I believe Wayne Dyer, a very, very well received motivational speaker in the West, was deeply inspired by Nisargadatta, and his books, his lectures were so well received. This Wayne Dyer wrote one of his books with the title Your Erroneous Zones. Your erroneous zones. Your areas where your thinking is wrong. Somebody thinks that everybody has left him. Wrong. Nobody has left you. It's your conclusion. If God is with you, all are with you. Even your critics are with you. They are also serving you actually. Isn't it true that sometimes, or maybe all time, when somebody criticizes us, it helps us. It helps us see, at least, they may be partly right, and we can correct ourselves. So has that critic left you and gone away? Or by physically going away and criticizing you from a distance, has he not uh, offered a service to you? So what appears as she has left me, he has gone away from me, can be discovered that she has been so helpful. Because receiving is not always physical. Receiving can be on a subtler level. Somebody who insulted you, who have done a greater service to you than 100 others who praised you. For the person who insulted you actually made you alert, right? Therefore, the Vedanta dismisses your notions. Viveka is to clearly see what was helpful, what was an obstacle. Viveka jnanena ajnanam nashitam. Adityavat. Aditya is Surya, the sun. When the sun rises, wow, every morning an extraordinary phenomenon in all the directions. Things are visible, things are lively, things are active. So, like that, samasta rupa jatam yatha adityaha avabhasayati. Just as the sun illumines all the forms, living beings, rivers and mountains, all are illumined. Like that, jnanam, this understanding which dawns upon you, following study as well as right living, Jneyam vastu sarvam prakashayati. It just brings to your understanding. Prakashana is not creating. Creating is something wasn't there before and you brought it into existence now. Prakashana is something was on a table. You turn the flashlight on and that object became known to everybody. Nobody earlier noticed it. So, Tat Paramartha Tattvam, that supreme truth. Sri Krishna thus has talked about those who are caught in ignorance and those who are clear. And he praises them in one more wonderful way. Tadbuddhayaha tadatmanaha tannishtaha tatparayanaha gachanti apunavrittim jnana nirbhuta kalmasha. Krishna at many places in the Gita praises, extols wise people. These wise people, wow, they set an example for everyone. They inspire. They actually make countless people leave the wrong path of life and come to right living. Somebody once wondered, why did Vivekananda not enter the freedom struggle of India? The answer was, he actually chose a field of work and his life then was great inspiration for tens of thousands, if not more, of freedom fighters. They drew strength, they drew new energy by what he taught and how he lived. So, good people, wise people, pious people are a great source of energy, inspiration, life itself, the world. They are Tadbuddhaya. Now, Bhashyakara says, Brahmani tasmin Brahmani gata buddhi esham. You have a buddhi, alas. The buddhi of most people is in things of the world. That is superficially, on a deeper level, the buddhi is so much about I, me, and my. On the surface, you may think, somehow I am not able to stop thinking about that new model of car that has come, which I want to buy. So on the surface, you are thinking of the car. But we would say, You actually are visualizing yourself driving that car, owning that car, showing that car to your friends. See, I bought this. So it's not so much the car, it is a certain self-projection, a reinforcement of the separate self. And that goes away rather than ahankara buddhaya, rather than your buddhi being enmeshed in egoism, tad buddhaya, your buddhi is in Brahman, tad atmana, tad nishtaha, tad parayana. They are not reborn. Gachanti apunaravritti. Punaravritti is punarjanma. Apunaravrittim gachanti. For in their case, all kalmasha, all impurity is gone. How? Jnanena. Jnana nirbhuta kalmashaya. Tadatmanaha says Bhashyakara. Tadeva param brahma. Atma yesham te tadatmanaha. That Brahma is now their own self. Earlier they had paroksha jnana. Now they have aparoksha jnana. I am that. That is tad atmana. Tad nishtaha. They are so passionate. They are so inspired by this insight which has dawned on them. Therefore they are anchored in it. Nishta is anchoring. And then last one is tad parayana. Before that, Shankara says tatparyam. The sum and substance of all this is sarvani karmani sanyasya tasmin brahmani eva avasthanam yesham tanishtaha. They have actually given up all other pursuits, leaving everything aside. Brahmani eva avasthanam. They stay firmly in Brahman and in Brahman only eva. And then tatparayana means they are always holding this Brahmanishta as their true and final destination. Param ayanam. Ayanam is where you need to go. Para gatihi, another synonym. Te tatparayana. Kevala atma ratayaha. Ityartha. Every one of these Mahatmas is atma rati. That is, rati means ramana. Enjoying. Atma ratayaha. Yesham jnanena nashitam atmanah jnanam te gachanti evam vidaha apunaravrittim apunardeha sambandham gachanti. Punarjanma is nothing but getting into another body. So punardeha sambandham. Apunardeha sambandham. So they are liberated. Jnana nirdhuta kalmashaha. Completely their kalmasha, impurities are cleansed, are removed by jnana. Yatokten jnanen nirdhutah nashitah kalmasha papadi samsara karana dosha. All said and done, the sinful tendencies in human beings cause so much sorrow to them, cause another life where again they have to go up and down, suffer. Yet nobody understands. They don't stop doing papa. But wise people, the shloka describes them, are completely free. They have begun to live a wholly different life. Yatayaha ityartaha. Thus, yati. Yati is ascetic. Yati is yatnashila, always endeavoring to live rightly. And that is through jnana. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.